Houston, we have touchdown. The eagle has landed. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host Amy from Pen Venture. Welcome to another fountain pen review. And this time we are checking the Leonardo Officina Italiana Momento Zero Grande 2.0, an updated version of the previous Momento Zero Grande, which I want to share with you in this video. I know that there is a lot of videos for the Momento Zero Grande series, and I'm not going to bore you to death with details, but I'm going to try to do a parallel video review, and I'm going to use previous models to demonstrate what is new on the 2.0 version, which recently launched, and we shipped all of the pre-orders, both in gold and steel nibs. Now I can really talk about it, and I have a very good understanding of what is being changed on this model. I'm going to skip most of the things that are usually done in our reviews, like the details about the manufacturer. You already know Leonardo Officina Italiana, Naples-based pen manufacturer with a lot of interesting things and fountain pens. What is not changed, I'm not going to point out in this video. What's different, I'm going to show you side by side with other models. Then I'm not going to go into a side-by-side size comparison, because it's basically the same fountain pen with some small adjustments in regards of the length, girth, and all of that, but we are going to discuss them individually. A writing sample with both the steel and the 14 karat new nibs done by Leonardo, and we're going to discuss on the writing experience, because I think that's a lot of interesting things in that. First of all, the customer experience. The fountain pen is presented in a different box. Inside you will find the international warranty and some of the details regarding this collection. For the steel version nib of this fountain pen, you won't have an ink bottle, but for the gold version you will have an ink bottle. And now let me introduce you to the colors of this impressive collection. First of all, we have the Leonardo Momento Zero Grande 2.0 C Anemone. Spaghetti resin by the looks of the pattern. To be honest, this is the fountain pen which I thought is going to look a little bit dull from the entire collection, but I was mistaken. Moving further, we have 2.0 Momento Zero Grande Baobab, and I hope I'm pronouncing that at least close to correctly. By what I understood when I tried to Google that word, a tree from Africa or something like this. Now, moving further, we have Stardust, and I thought this is a primary manipulation color, and it's not. It's a resin which was manufactured by an Italian company exclusively for Leonardo Officina Italiana. And the thing about this, it is blue combined with brown, with yellow, a dash of green, and it is chatoyant, but the blue, it's semi-transparent. So right here you will see the piston filling mechanism of the fountain pen, and I think this is a gorgeous resin which is going to have a very good impact visually in your collection, to say so. Last but not least, we have Angel Skin, and this is one of the most interesting colors, and this is sort of a marbly crystallized pattern, pink with white, and it looks gorgeous. On this fountain pen, it's available only in rose gold color trims and a 14 karat gold nib, so we don't have a steel nib on this fountain pen. The entire Momento Zero Grande 2.0 collection of fountain pens, I'm gonna pick one. Let's go into some of the details of the 2.0 Momento Zero Grande. In regards of the shape, we have the same oversized fountain pen, very beautiful vintage inspired shape, tapered on both ends, a very reliable option in regards of an oversized fountain pen. Not too big, not too small. Here you have a Momento Zero Grande Sand, side by side another spaghetti resin which is Baobab, and I'm going to show you the C Anemone, very similar in regards of how they look. The cap of the 2.0 series, it's the same shape, the same clip with a small little wheel. The cap ring configuration numbers 3 individual rings, and it is identical with the previous edition, and I have it right here side by side, so you can clearly see that there is no difference. Leonardo engraved opposite to the clip right here, Leonardo, and the number of the fountain pen. This is not a limited edition number, but every single fountain pen from this series, it is numbered. Again, one complete turn of the cap to uncap the fountain pen, and we are greeted by the nib. This is where we have a lot of things to talk about, because Leonardo just recently announced that they came up with an in-house made gold nib with a different look, with a different feel. Both the steel nibs and the gold nibs have the same design, La Fenice or the Phoenix. And if you look closely, this stamped pattern. It's just like the wings expanding, and I don't know if it resembles a phoenix, but in my opinion this is a very, very good name. On every single of these fountain pens right here, there's 3, you can have it with both a steel nib with the new motif. Also there is available rhodium color 14 karat new La Fenice made by Leonardo in-house. For the steel nibs, we have ABS plastic feeds. On the gold nibs, you will have a heat set in-house cut ebonite feeder. For the steel nibs, like the one on the Baobab, you will have the following nib sizes available: extra fine, fine, medium, broad, and a 1.5 millimeter stub. So we don't have any of those 1.1 millimeter stubs. In regards of the gold nib, we have extra fine, fine, medium, broad, a 1.4 millimeter stub, a double broad nib option, 2 specialty nibs which come at a different pricing: elastic extra fine and elastic fine. Elastic extra fine and fine are available in steel version, so we do have plenty of sizes to choose from. And now let's showcase what is going to go down at this section, because we do have slight changes, and by slight we have big changes. So this is how it looked on the previous edition of the Momento Zero Grande series. We have this beautiful section, 2 steps. Right here we have 10 millimeters, and right here we have 14 millimeters. On the 2.0 we have a different section which was first introduced on the Art Deco series, if I'm not mistaken, and I have here my black Art Deco just to show you for reference how it looks. A diameter around 16.5, 16.8. I don't know about you, but in my opinion I'm a big fan of both sections. Getting back to the nib, would you look at that? Now you can remove this nib unit, the steel nib unit, and you can substitute this very easy, just like on the Momento Magico series. This is a wonderful way to actually give out functionality. I think it's going to fit previous models, so it's a wonderful way to offer much more practicality towards the design. I think you know what's following. The ink window. Yes, finally we have an ink window on a Leonardo Momento Zero Grande. It's a nice way to see how much ink you have in the fountain pen, what color of the ink, what's the state of the ink inside, and pretty much if you are a fountain pen nerd like I am, you like seeing ink sloshing around in the barrel of the fountain pen. The clever thing about this is that they added this feature without changing pretty much anything in regards of the size of the section, the length of it, and all of the other aspects. And I'm going to show you where it's coming from. So this is the first fountain pen that Leonardo introduced with an ink window of this sort, and it's the Supernova PM4. You have it right here side by side with the previous model. So you see that they took some threads out and this space right here, and they added an ink window. The barrel continues just like the previous one without changing too much. Tapering in, we have this ring right here which marks the finishing of the barrel. We have the piston knob. The fountain pen is equipped with a vintage in-house built piston filling mechanism, totally detachable using the tool which is provided by Leonardo. You can buy it on our website and you can put the key like so, and in one continuous motion you can untwist this back assembly of the piston and you can access the inside barrel for cleaning purposes or greasing the piston. A very reliable way to maintain your Momento Zero Grande. Capped, the Leonardo Momento Zero Grande 2.0 measures 151 millimeters, the same dimension like the previous edition. Uncapped like so. In writing position it measures 134 millimeters. Posted like this, it measures 171 millimeters, different from the previous edition, which posted measures 175 millimeters. So posted, the 2.0 is shorter by 4 millimeters. The grip section is 16.8 millimeters right here versus the other previous edition 14 millimeters around here and 10 millimeters around here. Posted, the total weight of the fountain pen is the same with the previous edition, 30 grams, and uncapped in writing position is 20 grams, just like the previous version. Let's discuss nibs and writing performances, and I need you to pay attention right here. Steel nibs, and you can clearly see right here we have an old style Leonardo laser engraved, and right here on the right side we have on the Baobab a steel nib which is stamped right now, it is not laser engraved, and we have a different motif, and right here the size at the bottom, it is not stamped on the shoulder of the nib. You can clearly see that the shape is pretty similar. After getting to test and to adjust a few steel nibs, I've seen that the new steel nibs have been behaving differently. It's more, let's say, true to the size. For example, a fine was writing very wet and close to medium. A medium was writing very wet in between a medium and a broad. On the new nibs, they write more fine. They do that, I don't know how, but they write a little bit more fine and true to their size. And different about them is the fact that they are not that wet, 10–15% less wet than the previous ones. On the medium, I've seen that it is a little bit stubbish. And going towards the gold nibs, this is a whole new chapter in regards of nibs on a Leonardo. And I have right here the Angel Skin side by side, my personal Art Deco 2nd edition, and you can clearly see that we have a different motif, laser engraved right here, stamped on the La Fenice or the Phoenix, the new nibs, and the performances are completely different. So we have a nib which is much more responsive, it is softer, it allows for more flex without opposing too much pressure. So the nib is much more flowing, much more wieldy, playful, to say so. The new gold nibs are a touch less wet, and of course they write more true to their size. So now you can really take your extra fine and you do have a very fine nib. And since we're talking nibs, I have here a old style Leonardo elastic fine point 14 karat gold. Just to show you that there are different, I have here a Phoenix 14 karat in-house made Leonardo gold nib. So you can clearly see that there is small little changes, this cutout, the material is different, the looks is different, and it is less thick than the old one. Of course it behaves different, but I think this is interesting and I haven't seen this in any other reviews. Both nibs separately put side by side. Also, I need to point out is the fact that if you choose elastic fine or elastic extra fine, both in gold and steel nibs, you will still get the old style nib. I don't know when they will have available on their elastic nibs the new motif which is stamped. Now let me get my good old trusty notebook and let's check out a fine steel nib and a fine gold nib. I wish you can see with my perspective because I'm completely surrounded by Leonardo fountain pens, and this is a good sign, of course. Now let me show you how this both steel and 14 karat new nibs are writing, and I have some paper right here. I'm only going to dip this fountain pens, and I'm going to start with the gold first because I know you are very interested about this new nibs. Let's give it a try. We have the pen Leonardo Momento Zero Grande 2.0, and this is the ink Leo Black, Leonardo standing for nib 14 karat Phoenix or La Fenice. New nib, and the paper is Tomoe River paper 52 GSM. And now let's have some wetness test, and this is one pass, still a wet nib, but in writing it is not a fire hose wet nib, and it is slightly less wet than the previous one. Normal, figure of eights, just like I told you, no pressure. This is more close to a fine point in my opinion, and this is a fine. And now let's apply some pressure, and you will see that this nib is really flexing, and it is offering a lot of line variation, and it's not, yeah, I ran out of ink. It's not like it's going to oppose and to actually make you apply more pressure. It's more elastic, and the snapback it's more pleasant to see. Very, very beautiful, and I love every single aspect of this new nib. Moving further, this is a steel fine point, and let me show you what I was referring to. Nib, from the get-going, it's just like any other steel nib, more rigid, steel, and this is a finer point, and this is a size 6 nib, just like the one on gold. And now let's check the wetness. Yet not that wet like a steel nib from Leonardo from previously. We have some normal, figure of 8s, and the nib rides more true to the size, flex. Now here is where we do have some line variation, but that comes with the cost, and pretty much that is composed of more ink that comes on the paper, and it is pooling, so it's not really flex. It's just a much more thicker line, but you don't have that line transition like the one that you have right here, from very, very fine to very, very broad. Okay, let's conclude. We have a new collection based on a very, very popular early edition, the Momento Zero Grande. Leonardo did tremendous developing steps towards offering something new, and I appreciate that a lot. We do have new nibs. Those are stamped in-house by Leonardo, created in-house, and I think it's a wonderful way to see how your support towards this brand have been sort of transitioning in them, evolving and offering you a new choice in regards of their collection. I appreciate this. I appreciate that every single time that I think I've seen it all from Leonardo, we do have something new with vintage inspired traits, combining with new materials, new techniques, new technologies, new nibs, and pretty much they come up with a different fountain pen. It's always been a star in our inventory and in our store, and I believe this is what is particularly special about Leonardo, that every single time that you've seen it all, they come up with a new thing and it's always a hit. In regards of this new fountain pens, I believe it's a great value point. Believe me, if you like a little bit girthier, a little bit longer of a fountain pen, you pretty much have all the best from Leonardo Officina Italiana in the Momento Zero Grande series. You have a fountain pen which is made in a very colorful resin. You have a piston, now you have an ink window, you have a detachable nib and piston using the tool, you have steel nibs at an affordable price, you have gold nibs for the same fountain pen. For the gold nib version of this fountain pen, we have a 416 euro pricing. And if you ask me, if you want me to go about and number a gold nib fountain pen with an ebonite feeder in-house made, piston, detachable, ink window, you don't have too many options other than Leonardo, trust me. So it is a wonderful, wonderful value point to get such a fountain pen. In regards of the colors, we do have a very nice array of colors. We have two spaghetti resin, which is something that I personally like a lot. Baobab in green and sea anemone in orange, yellowish and purple. Then you have angel skin, which is pink and a sort of pink salt, like in that aspect of both the color and also the pattern. And then you have Stardust, which is semi-transparent and chatoyant. So we talked value, we talked steel nibs, gold nibs, we talked colors. In regards of the ergonomics, I find the Momento Zero Grande series to fit me very well, but I am known to like oversized fountain pens. But based on the fact that there is so many editions of this Momento Zero Grande series, I think most of you that are going to have a look at this fountain pens, you already own a Momento Zero Grande series, so the passing towards this collection will be much more easy. You've seen them, you see how they ride, you see how they are equipped, how they look, how they feel. You have my honest opinion, and everything about them. So if you are decided, go down below, you can find a link towards our website and you can find them there available. Don't forget, if you enjoy my content, to give this video a big thumbs up. This will help me a lot with the YouTube algorithm, and if you stayed on this video for too long, you deserve a prize. So if this video is going to get let's see, 300 likes, that's it, because usually with my videos we do have 100 or so likes. So if this video is going to get 300 likes, comment down below which one is your favorite color, and I'm gonna pick one of you and you will receive one of these fountain pens in a steel nib as a prize. Thumbs up, comment down below which one is your favorite one, and you might have it as a gift. Down below you'll find the links for our social media accounts, my phone number, email, anything and everything you may need to get in contact with me. If you're looking for a next writing instrument, choose PenVenture and I will for sure help you out. Don't forget to subscribe to the PenVenture YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed, do that right now and support our growth, and click there, turn the notification bell on, and you will be notified whenever we have new content. Speaking about new content, if you want to continue watching my videos, I'm going to leave this right here. You can click and enjoy. As always, I'm your host Amy from PenVenture, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care, stay safe, ride on.